Today, we're going to figure out which anime I'm watching in the winter 2024 anime season. Logo reveal. But before we do, if you enjoy the video, please like, would appreciate it. Comment, maybe even subscribe if you watch a bunch of my content and you're interested in some of these reactions. I'll have links to certain playlists where we might have already seen a season, and let's just get into it. Oh, also you can find the full links for like everything that I'll be watching on Patreon, you know, plus there's exclusives on Patreon. Currently what we're watching is Fate Apocrypha. Once we finish that, we'll jump into another Fate series. We just finished Banished from the Hero's Party. We're jumping into Tomazaki, bottom tier character Tomazaki. That'll be only on Patreon. We just finished Pet Girl of Sakuraso. We're watching Gurren Lagann. We're watching Sound Euphonium and Clanat. And starting next week, we're going to be checking out Chivalry of a Failed Knight for a few weeks, and then I'll do a new poll to figure out what I should be watching next for fantasy. Plus, I didn't do a video specifically announcing this. I will be doing a specific video for this announcement, but I am going to be doing reactions to non-anime series coming in 2024. So maybe you want to check out my other channel. It won't be on this channel because this channel, let's be real, it's all anime. All you guys want to see is anime on this channel. I try to do some non-anime stuff, bombs. All right, so it's going to be on a totally different channel. We're going to do K-dramas, J-dramas, maybe other Asian country dramas, some Western stuff for sure. I think we're starting off with at least The Glory. Maybe we'll check out some other things. I've seen people mention Sweet Home. I've seen people mention, honestly, just tons of other K-dramas. I think I've seen a couple of J-dramas. You know, just click the link down in the description. It'll take you over to that other channel, Freshest Reacts. That's going to be the name of that one. I think we're already over 200 subs over there. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate that. If you're interested in non-anime reactions, that's where all that stuff will be going forward. Now, with that out the way, let's check out this upcoming anime season. We're over on livechart.me, okay? So, first up, we've got the continuation of Frieren. Dude, Frieren is absolutely phenomenal. Love this. So, yes, we will be watching more Frieren. Solo Leveling. Come on. I read all of Solo Leveling. In fact, you could find my chapter reactions over on Patreon. They're not on YouTube anymore because that's how you get copyright strikes. I've literally gotten 2 copyright strikes in the past for Solo Leveling. So, yeah. You can find them over on Patreon if you're interested. Even at the lowest tier, you don't have to like do the $5 or $10 tier. There's like a little $2 tier. You do that shit. 1 month, boom, get all of those chapter reactions. I'll admit the first, it's only part 2, not part 1. So none of part 1, only part 2. And the first maybe 10 to 15 aren't reactions. They're like reviews because it was literally some of the first videos I ever made. So the first content I made, I was like, oh, maybe I should do like manga reviews. And then it ended up turning into reactions. And long story short, lost a channel, started doing stuff on this channel, and Solo Leveling has an anime, so we're gonna be checking that out. Next up, Shangri-La Frontier, continuing. Yes, love it. Classroom of the Elite. I already watched the first 2 seasons. You can check out my reactions to the first 2 seasons of Classroom Elite. If you click this link right up here, it'll take you to that playlist. Great. I love Classroom of the Elite. Ayana Koji's crazy. One of the craziest things about Classroom of the Elite is when season 2 was airing, so many people were like, he just like me for real with Ayana Koji, or like how to be like a... This man is a psychopath. What do you mean? Oh, I'm just like him. He's just like me. I want to be like him. This man's crazy. Like, kind of wild, but you know, people are weird with anime, so whatever. Next up, Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. I will be checking out season 2 because I already checked out season 1. You can check out my reactions if you're interested by clicking the playlist right up here. I will have the reactions to season 1 of Tsukimichi over on Patreon in the next week, okay? By the end of 1 week from now, they will be up on Patreon. If you're interested in checking those out, I'll just upload probably the whole season, all batch. Long story short, I used to record in a different format, so we have to sync it up, get it all, whatever, and then we'll get them up. But yeah, they're not on Patreon at the moment, but they will be within 1 week, okay? Love it. I will definitely be watching more Tsukimichi. Again, you can check out that. Check it out. Check out my other reactions, season 1. Season 1 was pretty fucking cool. And the one thing I will say about Tsukimichi, I'm a little concerned, a little bit, because now it's JC staff, and JC staff is very I mean, I would say hit or miss, but like very rarely have they hit recently. Mostly missing. They miss a lot nowadays. It's not like the old JC staff, you know, I miss the old Kanye. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, C2C, a phenomenal studio, but they're not doing the new season of Tsukimichi. It's JC staff, which kind of sucks, whatever. Next up, Apothecary Diaries. Come on. You guys know I'm digging Apothecary Diaries. Do I think it's the greatest thing on earth? No. Do I think it's really good? Yes. Do I think it's building to be amazing, potentially the greatest thing on earth? Yes. It's building up so many intriguing elements that they just haven't fully fleshed out. They just hinted at things, little sprinkles here and there. It's got me very interested. So I'm excited for more Apothecary Diaries. Next up, Undead Unluck. Loving Undead Unluck. Yes, I will be continuing that. Obviously, such an interesting world. The elements added with rules, punishments, rewards for the quests, the apocalypse, the different negators, the different UMAs, and just even in the most recent episode where you got the people potentially buying stuff of this part of it's very, very, very interesting. So yeah, we're doing more Undead Unluck. Next up, Ragna Crimson. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't absolutely love Ragna Crimson, okay? That's why I have only uploaded the one episode. We're probably gonna upload that fight with Ragna versus Ultimatia, I think her name is. We're probably gonna upload that. The 8 and 9, I wanna say those episodes are, because that was insane. But I don't think I'm gonna upload like the whole entire season of Ragna Crimson. You wanna check out those reactions, you gotta go over to Patreon, all right? Patreon, go check it out over there. I mean, I like it for sure. I just don't absolutely love it, you know? So, I mean, for me, it's like a solid 7. I just don't think it's like a 10, you know? Next up, new season of Mashall. I read Mashall for what is probably the first 2 seasons. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like 50, 60 chapters back. I think it already ended, but I didn't read for about a year, any new chapters. So I think that maybe I'm through 2, at most 3 seasons of Mashall in terms of reading, but I haven't read it in over a year, like maybe a year and a half, maybe even fucking 2 years. I don't know. It's been a long time since I read Mashall. I like it, but I stopped reading it because I was like, oh, it's getting an anime. I should probably stop reading it at this point. And then I kept reading a few more chapters because, again, I really like it. I liked the first season. Thought it was really funny. Lots of great moments. The suplex is just by far one of the greatest moments in all of anime. Next season's gonna have a lot of dope moments. I'm so excited. And you can check out my reactions to Mashall if you click the link right up here, or maybe it's down in the description. Maybe I don't link it. We'll see, whatever. Next up, we've got Dangers in My Heart Season 2. If you know me at all, then you know I absolutely love Dangers in My Heart. Probably my favorite romance series of 2023. I forgot what year it was. I love it. I absolutely love Dangers in My Heart. Absolutely hilarious. So good. I will be watching more, obviously. So there's no question about that. You can check out my reactions to the first season of Dangers in My Heart if you want. You can click this link right up here. Love the show. Absolutely love it. So excited. In fact, it's probably one of the things I am most excited for next season. Next up, Banished from the Hero's Party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside season 2. Now, this one I'm a little torn on. I uploaded the first episode reaction. We might upload, I think it was first and second in one video. We might upload 3 and 4 in a video. Might not. I don't know. It will be on Patreon no matter what. I'll do season 2 on Patreon no matter what. Maybe it'll go on YouTube. I just don't see it being a series that's going to get a lot of love on YouTube. The first video we did, based on the numbers that I'm looking at, it looks like typically what happens with series is there's a big drop off from the first video to the second, and then a continued drop off from the second to the third. And then usually by the third is when people know whether they want to keep watching, and that kind of like stables out. And then there could be peak moments where peaks, and then moments where it's not so peak. Maybe we'll upload 3 and 4, see how that performs. And if it performs well, then maybe we do 5 and 6 and so on. And maybe we do season 2 on YouTube. I just don't know yet. I can't confirm season 2 on YouTube, but I can confirm at least Patreon. Everything else that I've mentioned to this point, all gonna be on YouTube except for Ragna Crimson. Ragna Crimson, Patreon only, but Free Run Solo Leveling, Shangri-La Frontier, Classroom of the Elite, Tsukimichi, Apothecary Diaries, Undead Unluck, Mashall, Dangers in My Heart, all of those will be on YouTube, okay? Ragna Crimson, Banished from the Hero's Party, at least on Patreon. Next up, my instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance. Listen, long title, typical of a light novel. I don't know if it's one that I want to watch, okay? I've seen people recommending it. I'm still torn on it. It's an interesting concept. He got an overpowered ability. He could just one-shot kill. It seems like the gag's gonna run out, though. Right? It'll be cool like the first 3 times. And then 4, it's like, okay, yeah. Oh, he does the thing. He did the, oh, wow, he did the, you know, so it's like, will it be sustainable? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to check this out on Patreon. I'm going to be honest with you. But when I do, you know, a poll down the road, to figure out what people, if I haven't already chosen to do it on Patreon, I'll do a poll down the road, figure out if this is one that I should be watching over on Patreon. It's likely not going to make its way to YouTube at all. So don't expect that. Next up, the new season of Blue Exorcist. Dude, the last season of Blue Exorcist came out so long ago. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't watch it. I watched the first season. I watched the first season in 2019, 2020, one of those years. And I thought it was solid, you know. I didn't watch season 2, so I can't say anything about it. And I'm probably not going to watch season 3. Not that I have anything particularly against Blue Exorcist. It's just a lot of anime out there. And it's more in line with the shonen sort of demographic. Typically, my shonen stuff isn't beloved. The only reason my really popular shonen series reactions do well is because they're already really popular shonen series. So they're going to do pretty damn good, but they're never going to outperform certain things that are not shonen. So I don't know. We're not going to be doing any reactions for that. I'm sure you can find plenty of other channels. Maybe somebody like ED or Reanimated or you know, plenty of other people that watch a lot of shonen stuff and get a lot of shonen love, or get a lot of love from the shonen community. We'll be checking that out. Next up, we've got Chained Soldier, which, by the way, I don't like the Japanese title. I think there's a word in there that just kind of makes me uncomfortable, you know, a little white guilt. But Chained Soldier, I don't know how to feel about it. The CG looks a little wonky. I don't have too big of an issue with CG. Honestly, I'll be real with you. I don't think CG in anime is all that bad. Now, a fully CG anime very rarely looks good. You got to be like orange in order to pull it off. Otherwise, probably not gonna do so well. We'll see how it turns out. I will be doing reactions on YouTube to start. It might get dropped from YouTube if people are not fucking with it, which again could happen because CG. But I think we're gonna start off with some YouTube reactions. We'll see how it performs. I'm kind of excited for it. Everybody's kind of gassing it up, though they do say it's pretty ecchi. We'll see. Next up, bottom tier character Tomazaki, second season. This one's not going to be on YouTube unless I upload episode 1 at some point and do like an episode 1 and 2 reaction over on YouTube. These episodes are already going up on to Patreon. Over the next 3 weeks, I will have all of season 1 uploaded on Patreon before season 2 starts up. So in case you're interested, consider maybe joining the Patreon. We'll see. I'll maybe upload episodes 1 and 2 onto YouTube, see how that performs. I just doubt it's going to do all that well. You look at the animation for it, not great. Interesting concept with the whole game element and treating life as a game and stuff. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to do all that great. I like it though. I really enjoy it, and you can check out those reactions on Patreon. Next up, we've got The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. Been hearing a lot about this one. It looks like it's Studio Ad and Shin-A Animation. Shin-A Animation is also the studio that does Dangers in My Heart, which I think is phenomenally animated. So it could look really well in terms of animation. Could be done very well. We'll see. I don't know if this is one I'm going to react to, but it's quite possible that this one makes its way to Patreon. And if there's a lot of people gassing it up on YouTube, might make its way to YouTube. Next up, we've got Tales of Wedding Rings. I will not be watching this unless people like really just like gas it up. We'll see. I just don't think that it's gonna get the hype. I don't think that people are gonna really be talking about it like that. We'll see, but yeah, right now I'm not planning to do any reactions for it, YouTube or Patreon. Next up, Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable. I will be doing reactions to this on Patreon and YouTube. So if you are interested in it, you'll find those reactions on YouTube. It's going to be one of my Monday anime along with Tsukimichi. You can expect both of those on Mondays on YouTube if you're interested. I saw the trailer and dude, I felt something you're probably not going to feel when you're in Hokkaido. Warmth. I felt that right here in my heart. And it looked really cute. So I'm excited for it. Next up, Villainous, level 99. Listen, you guys know by now, I don't fuck with villainous anime, bro. Get the villainous shit out of here. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing villainous anime, okay? We've already gone through it, okay? I don't care if it's the peak anime. If Frieren was a villainous instead of a mage, I wouldn't be watching it because I don't do villainous anime. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't. And honestly, with that said, I probably would have been convinced to watch it because Frieren's so amazing, and people would have been like, "Yo, Frieren's so amazing," even if she was a villainous and stuff. And I probably would be watching it. But I'm trying to make a point that I don't do villainous anime. But I kind of go back against my point because, you know, it could be really good if it's a villainous anime. I liked Ray Liana. I thought Ray Liana was solid. We watched that over on Patreon, but I just don't do villainous anime. Moving on. Delicious in Dungeon by Studio Trigger. 2 cores back to back. It looks like it's going to be airing weekly by the way that it's written here. It says it's airing on January 4th at 8:30 EST. Why would it say 8:30 EST if it was dropping like batch? It wouldn't do that. If it was a batch drop, first of all, it wouldn't be listed here. Second of all, it would probably say like 3 a.m. because that's when Netflix typically batch drops. And it wouldn't say 2 cores back to back. So I'm excited for Delicious in Dungeon. I'm glad that Netflix is maybe potentially, I hope that this performs well as a weekly series. I hope it's not delayed. I hope it's not like airs in Japan and then 3 weeks later on Netflix. No, don't do that shit to me. Drop it in Japan, drop it in America, drop it everywhere on Netflix. Same day, each episode, every week. I hope it performs amazingly. If it performs amazingly, then maybe Netflix gets a hint. We want weekly. We don't want batch drop. I hate batch drop for anime. Give me batch drop for your reality TV shows. You know, for the shit that I'm not gonna watch, that I don't give a shit about. You know, for the anime, give me it weekly, please. All right, let's get this hype going for 12 weeks. Okay. Anyways. I will be watching it. It's Studio Trigger. I don't know if it's going to make its way to YouTube. January 4th is a Thursday, which would put it alongside Chained Soldier. So, yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. We'll try it on YouTube, guys. I'll do it just for you. For you. I'll do it for you. You watching the video right now. I'm going to do it for you. All right? We'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes on YouTube, and I hope it performs well. That way I can keep doing it on YouTube. I listen, I got to be able to pay my editors, all right? I can't just put things on YouTube that aren't going to get subscribers, that aren't going to make at least a little bit to pay them, like offset my costs even a tiny bit, even if it makes like $5. That'd be nice. Anyways, Delicious in Dungeon will be on YouTube. I mean, it's Trigger. Come on. How could I not? My schedule's looking pretty packed. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. No seasonal anime for Tuesdays, which kind of sucks, but yeah, I've had some time to think about which ones I'm doing, by the way, so just so you're aware. Next up, The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. I watched the trailer for it, and it kind of gave me a Kaguya-sama vibe, except with a demon and angel. So like if you combined Kaguya with a little bit of maybe an unemployed and in-school version of Devil's a part-timer. So maybe Devil's a school student or something, high schooler, you know, mixed with Kaguya. That's what it looked like to me. Am I watching it? I don't have the plans to watch it at the moment. You know, it's not really on my agenda. It's not really on my radar. I watched the trailer. It didn't look bad. And honestly, if some of these other anime that look really interesting weren't airing, I probably would be watching it. And maybe you all can convince me. You know, maybe I didn't see enough comments for it, and I can be convinced. Try and convince me. Let me know down in the comments. You know, when I do a poll on Patreon, if you're on Patreon, you know, maybe talk about this one. Maybe vote for this one if you really want it. If I do a poll on YouTube, maybe vote for that one if that's the one you're interested in. We'll see. Next up, The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. I don't think it's gonna be one that I'm watching. I'll be real with you, man. And now it's possible you all can convince me. Let me know down in the comments. You know, when I do those polls, let me know if that's the one I should be checking out. You just vote for it. There's a lot of anime in every anime season. Some stuff just doesn't make the cut. The trailer didn't look terrible. Didn't look all that great, but it didn't look terrible. So at the moment, not planning on watching it on Patreon. Next up, The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash. Looks super cute. Looks so cute. I could see this potentially being something on Patreon, but at the moment, it's not part of the plan. I'm not planning to watch it on Patreon. No matter what, I doubt it would make its way to YouTube. It could end up on Patreon. I'll let you know during the season if that happens. Dr. Elise, the Royal Lady with the Lamp, not going to be watching that. We can just skip over. Fluffy Paradise, also not going to be watching that. We can just skip over that. 7 Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, not going to be watching that. We can also skip over that. A Sign of Affection. This shit looks really, really cute. So I will be watching this. I'll be watching it. I'm going to be honest with you. I will be watching it. It looks great. It will be on Patreon, not on YouTube, unless, like, I don't know, it just starts blowing up on YouTube, which I doubt would happen. I mean, maybe it'll happen. Who knows? I don't know how popular it is. But at the moment, It doesn't seem like it'll be massive on YouTube, so it's not in my plans to watch it on YouTube or to do the reactions and then have them edited and posted to YouTube. Just Patreon, but I will definitely be watching it. And I definitely will be reacting because it looked like it could be really good. Next up, the strongest tanks Labyrinth aids. A tank with a rare 999 resistance skill. I'm not watching it, okay? You hit me with a long title like that. It's gonna be a basic fantasy thing. It's gonna be like, it's gonna have all of the standard elements. And I watch enough of them. I'm like, you know what? I've got a couple already this season that are gonna have some basic elements. I'm good. I don't need more. I'm not gonna be watching it. Don't expect reactions from me. Next up, The Witch and the Beast. Saw the trailer, didn't look terrible, but when you look at the stuff they've done, the studio, Yokohama Animation Lab, there is pause for concern. They did the Ice Blade Sorcerer anime, not good. They just did Kingdoms of Ruin, not good. Not good animation, okay, for these series. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you, Kingdoms of Ruin, terrible. It's not a good anime. It's like a 5 out of 10, very mid. All right, it tries to hook you in with this like edgy revenge sort of anime, and it's just bad. It's just not a good series. You think of all the plot holes in it, you think of all the bullshit, it's just not a good series. So I don't know what they're gonna do with The Witch and the Beast, but I just don't have faith in certain studios. This is one of those studios, unfortunately. Next up, Metallic Rouge. Speaking of studios, that's a good one. That's Bones. The trailer went off. The trailer looked awesome. I'm so excited for Metallic Rouge. I think it's Rouge, right? It looks really cool. I'm excited. I will be doing reactions on Patreon. I don't know if we're doing reactions on YouTube. It's gonna have to get to the level where reactions are warranted on YouTube, where people are like, yo, you gotta check this out. We want reactions for this. You gotta remind me every fucking day, telling me when I put up the poll saying, yo, should we put this on YouTube? I need you voting for it, okay? It looks really good. I will be doing reactions on Patreon. Next up, Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to the worst enemy. Not gonna be watching it, because what's the word? What's the word? And I'm not saying bird. Bird is not the word in this case. It's villainous. I'm not watching a villainous anime. I don't care. I'm not watching it. Okay, moving on. Ishuda. Ishuda Passion is the studio for Ishuda. There's a world where I can be convinced to watch it, but at the moment, I am not convinced to watch it because Passion's the studio, and just who knows what they'll do. But also, Passion is gonna end up. I think Passion's the studio that's supposed to do the Medalist eventually. Medalist is supposed to be a great manga. God, I hope they don't fuck that one. Passion's kind of known for a lot of fucking with their anime. It's a joke. They used to do hentai, so it's, you know. Anyways, moving on. We got a new season of Shaman King. Not watching that. I didn't watch the first one. Not gonna watch the second. We got Tis Time for Torture Princess. I actually didn't even watch the trailer for it. I'm not gonna be watching it. You know, maybe I'm missing out. That's fine. I can miss out on a couple things. We're not watching it. Next up, Pon no Michi. Didn't watch the trailer for this one either. I know I said that I watched all the trailers. Maybe I lied. Maybe I didn't watch all the trailers, but I'm not watching it. Next up, Firefighter Daigo. Continuing from fall into winter. Maybe I'm missing out on this one. It looks like it could be a good series. Brains Base is a solid studio, but I'm not watching Firefighter Daigo. So yeah. Next up, Urusei Yatsura's second season. I watched maybe the first half of the first season. It's just not for me. It's very like deeply rooted in Japanese culture, the jokes. I love comedy, but if your comedy isn't directed to me, then you can't expect me to laugh, you know? If you have a niche comedy that is so deeply rooted in a specific culture that is not my own, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get the joke. And that's fine. You know, I'm sure it is funny. It's just not for me, though I absolutely love Lum. I watched only half a season, loved Lum. She is adorable. I love the way that she ends her sentences. I thought that was really great, but I'm not gonna be watching the second season. Next up, High Card Season 2. Didn't watch Season 1, we're not watching Season 2. I decided to watch Tomozaki's first season and Banished from the Heroes Party's first season instead of the first season for High Card. So you gotta pick and choose your battles. Next up, Gushing Over Magical Girls. Brother, did that trailer look something? It looks something, that's for sure. I don't know if I'll be watching this, but that trailer was something else. This is gonna be one that I probably throw on a poll on Patreon, on YouTube, and figure out if I should be watching it, because it's pretty down bad. It's pretty down bad. I don't think it's gonna get to the point where it's like super ecchi, like borderline shmentai or anything, but it does look like it will have fan service, and it does look like it's going to be pretty down bad. So I'll just need to know when I ask you all if I should watch it. You know, give me your opinion. Next up, Sasaki and Peeps. I will maybe watch on Patreon. It falls on a Friday, which could make it a little more difficult. I don't know. I don't know if I'm watching it. I saw the trailer. The trailer didn't look terrible, but he travels between our world and a fantasy world. I would just hope that it doesn't do what, like, I thought 80,000 gold, not good. If it does that, I'm not gonna fuck with it. I don't know. I just don't know how to feel. I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. I might do reactions for it on Patreon. I don't wanna load up my schedule. That's the problem. I've always done 25, to 27 different anime on Patreon. I'm trying to do 20 at most. That's it. Just cap out at 20. Maybe push it to 21 at most. I don't want to do more than that. I'm tired of doing tons of anime. I want to do some non-anime, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. You can see those over on the other channel. Again, link for the other channel is going to be down in the description if you want to check that out. Sasaki and Peeps might not make the cut. It might, but it might not. I'm still kind of up in the air on that one. Next up, Sengoku Yoko. I think I will be watching for a couple of reasons. One, it's a full anime. 3 cores back to back to back. Probably already done. And it's White Fox. I can see this being pretty dope. I looked at the trailer. I thought the trailer looked pretty sick. There's going to be some dope fighting in it. I think we are doing reactions for it on Patreon. I don't think it's going to be popular enough to do reactions for on YouTube. Yes, I react to the popular stuff on YouTube. Wow, big surprise. It's almost as if people have to be paid for editing and I got to come up with the money somehow. And if I'm putting the videos on YouTube and they're getting like 5 subscribers per video, it is not worth the money. It's not worth the time because I got to make the thumbnail. That's my time as well. Not really worth it. Okay. So that's why I do more popular stuff, because obviously I need something off of it. If I'm getting like 50 to 100 subs off of a video, it's worth it to me. Outside of that, probably not so much. But again, like I said, it will be on Patreon. We are doing the reactions on Patreon. Next up, Mr. Villain's Day Off. Kind of interesting. The man loves his pandas. Will I be doing reactions to it? Probably not. Even though it is also, you know, Shine animation in association with, I don't know. I just don't think it's my thing. The Demon Prince of Momochi House, not gonna be watching that one. Kami Arabi's, I guess, continued season. It started in fall, not gonna be watching that one. Buchigiri. It's Mappa. We got to give it a chance, guys. That's the way it works. If it's Mappa, we give it a chance. Okay, so I'm going to probably start up reactions at the very least over on Patreon. It will not be on YouTube. Guaranteed that much. Nothing you can do will get it on YouTube. Probably on Patreon. Well, you know, you can look forward to that over there. Next up is Kingdom's 5th season. 5 seasons of Kingdom already. Now, I've been thinking maybe I need to react to Kingdom over on Patreon. I don't know, but I might start it over on Patreon. I know that everyone says the manga is way better, but like, brother, I make content. What kind of content am I gonna get from the manga? You know, can I do chapter reactions? Not so much. That's how you get your channel shut down. So it's got to be anime reactions. 1, boom, and then 2, I could do like manga reviews, but I could do manga reviews in addition to the anime reactions. So like, if the anime reactions are really worth it, like if each video is doing 5 to 10K, then I think it's worth it in my eyes. You know, let me know down in the comments, is Kingdom something I really need to be watching? I know the first season, maybe even 2 seasons, kind of rough in terms of animation, but I heard that by season 3, they've worked out the kinks. It looks so much better. And I mean, I'd be down for it. Again, I don't really care too much about bad animation if I'm getting good story. So let me know down in the comments, you know, and eventually, like I said, this probably will be something I watch on Patreon regardless. Next up, Dropkick on My Devil End of Century Edition. Not going to be watching that. And the only other anime I wanted to bring up, I'm not going to be doing season 2 of Sensuality Noir. I didn't watch the first core, but the other one that I wanted to bring up is Cherry Magic. 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. It's a BL. Honestly, looks kind of good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Looks kind of good. So I don't know. There's not a lot of love for the BL community. I have no problem with BLs. I did Sasuke Miyano. I thought it was great, but it didn't get a ton of love. So I'm torn on something like this. I didn't watch the movie for Sasuke Miyano. Anyways, Cherry Magic. I'm gonna need a lot of convincing for me to actually do reactions to it. I'm gonna need a lot of convincing, not because it's bad. Like, it's something that I could even see myself watching on my own. Because, I mean, I'm down with cute anime romance, even if it's 2 dudes. I don't care. But if it's not something you all want reactions for overwhelmingly, then it's probably not something I'm going to react to, right? And again, it's probably going to be something that I put in a poll on Patreon, see if Patreon people want it, but it probably won't win. I'll be real with you. I got a lot of guys in my Patreon. Guys are a lot less likely to vote for a BL. So anyways, it didn't look bad though. You know, it sucks. I wish that people were more okay with BL. I got no real problem with it. I just got to think about content first over what I would enjoy or not. That's it for the video, okay? So let's recap real quick. This is the TLDR if you wanted to just skip ahead. Reactions on YouTube. We are doing Frieren, Solo Leveling, Shangri-La Frontier, Classroom of the Elite, Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, Apothecary Diaries, Undead Unluck, Mashall, Dangers in My Heart, Chained Soldier. That's 10 already. Hokkaido Gals are super adorable. Delicious in Dungeon. That's it. For YouTube, it's those 12 for YouTube, okay? Maybe something gets cut out of that. Maybe we add something else to it. You know, so far the only ones that I'm thinking of adding to it, to YouTube, the ones that are coming to my mind, Banished from the Hero's Party, Bottom Tier Character Tomazaki, maybe Sign of Affection, Metallic Rouge. It's maybe one of those 4 could make it onto YouTube. I doubt anything else even has a chance. Because again, gotta go for popularity. Now, Patreon is all of those 12 that I said are confirmed for YouTube, plus Ragna Crimson, Banished from the Hero's Party, Bottom Tier Character Tomazaki, A Sign of Affection, Metallic Rouge, Sengoku Yoko, and Buchigiri. So that makes a total of 19 anime on Patreon, okay? There's 7 additional on Patreon beyond the 12 on YouTube, okay? And I said I want to add 2 more, all right? 2 more. Also, keep in mind, I might drop some of these if I don't like them. So just keep that in mind. But if I add 2 more, these are the ones I'm thinking, all right? So you could try to convince me, but these are the ones that I'm really thinking right now for adding 2 more, all right? You ready? Maybe my instant death ability, but it's not really in there. But I don't know. Maybe you guys can convince me. I just don't have a lot of faith in it. I think really what it is the wrong way to use healing magic. Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil, Unwanted Undead Adventurer, Weakest Tamer, Ishura, Gushing Over Magical Girls, that's 6, Sasuke and Peeps, that's 7, and Cherry Magic, that's 8. Those are the 8 that could potentially make it. I'm only doing 2 out of the 8 that will be added, okay? 2 out of the 8 will be added. So that's my 12 going on to YouTube, my additional 7 on Patreon for sure. It's possible I could drop anything out of that 19, so just keep that in mind. In fact, I would have dropped a bunch of anime this season. Some anime I would have dropped this season include Kingdoms of Ruin, Our Dating Story, Berserk of Gluttony. I don't think any of those were worth my time, but you know, in this upcoming season, I'll drop stuff if I need to. And then again, there's those other 8, the other 8 that I'm going to do polls for to pick 2 out of. All right, I'm gonna do a quarter of those 8, 2 of them. That's everything. I want to know what you guys are watching in the upcoming season. Where am I fucking up? I know you're all gonna tell me, oh no, you need to watch this on YouTube. This is gonna blow up. Let me know down in the comments, you know, which ones you're gonna check out, which ones you think I'm making a mistake not watching, which ones you think I'm making a mistake not watching and then editing for YouTube, which ones you think I'm making a mistake actually watching them for YouTube. If you think something really popular is gonna bomb, yeah, all that stuff, let me know down in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, then like the video and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss another one. Until next time, make sure you all keep it fresh. Peace.